Hello, everybody. Welcome to the workshop today. I hope you are doing okay, and I hope that everybody. Oops, I can hear myself on my backup. Uh, we're about to start this session and this workshop, which is going to be about how to conduct usability testing on your chatbot using Botsociety. I'm really excited to be here today for this workshop. We're going to build things together. We're going to design things together, and I hope that we can learn things together as well. Um, I can see that we have some really diverse people from different parts of the globe. We have folks from Seattle, Boston, Brazil, Rio Grande do Sul, I think, Tel Aviv, Atlanta, and yeah, I think we have a really international audience here today. And I'm curious to see or to know if you work in conversation design, you're working in AI, for example. Are you a conversation designer? Are you a developer? Can you introduce a little bit about yourself so I can have an understanding about who you are? Oh, we have someone from England. Uh, so yeah, so let's see. I have the chat in front of me. So if you have any comments or if you'd like to say something, I'm going to be reading the comment sessions. And if anything or any questions or any comments, I can just jump on it right away. Okay. So I would like to say again, welcome everybody to the workshop. Today, as I said, it's going to be about how to conduct usability testing on your chatbot using Botsociety. The agenda that I have for you, it's going to be a lightning talk of 15 minutes, just to give you a sense about what we are going to discover or learn here, and also to align the expectations about the usability testing per se. Also, we're going to build a demo from scratch. We're going to design from zero a chatbot. Let me just turn my table down a little bit. And also, I'm going to show you how you can invite users to test your design, and also how you can leverage these usability testing from them. Usability testing is something that you can, of course, do it on Botsociety and through Botsociety, but most of the times, this is a practice of UX researchers work, for example, and they have many different ways and tools to do this. Botsociety is just one tool that they can use on the skill or tool set that is going to help them to test and validate some assumptions. And also, Botsociety is great because you can leverage some data and collect some data from the user testings and improve your design as you go and as you do your usability testing. So let's go. So the first thing, though, it's about the lightning talk, which is going to be about the title of this session, which is how to conduct usability testing on your chatbot using Botsociety. So there are a few things that I'd like to address and to make sure we are on the same page. And I'd like to talk about three important things. What is a usability testing? Why you should do it, usability testing, and how. And also, I would like to give you some ideas about how to do it on Botsociety. So the first thing, though, is about what is. Usability tests is, as I said, is something that is really popular among UX researchers. This is a really popular observational methodology to uncover problems and opportunities in designs. This can be about conversation design, of course, but think about many other things. Think about service design, product design, digital design. Everything can have a usability test, and we can have some ways to validate some assumptions and find some problems or things that is not helping the users to use the product. Many times we have this idea that having something useful is the same that making something that is going to be successful. And it's not really about that. So we need to find a way to make sure that we are creating something that add values to the user, but also add values to whoever is building the product. So usually in a usability testing session, there is going to be a person, a researcher, a facilitator. For example, Fraser here, he or she, I don't know this person's pronoun, but this person said, I'm a UX researcher. So so this person is going to be a facilitator, a moderator, and is going to interact with some participants, people that is going to perform some sort of tasks. And usually is one or more specific to the interface that we are designing. So when we talk about conversational AI or conversational design, most of the times we are validating the design itself, but sometimes we can have some better understanding about the context that this person is going to be using this product, what this person is going to do after this person use the product. And then we can see or find different things that is going to help this person to take advantage of this experience that we're designing. Just a second, I'm just hearing something back. I forgot it. Okay. I don't think you can hear it, but I was just hearing some noise from my computer, and I don't want you to listen to this as I say it. So I think I'm good. So this is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive, but many things, especially in UX design and information architecture, comes from observation. Actually, the whole field of UX design per se, service design, etc., comes back to the 40s when we go talk about cybernetics and things like that. But I personally, I started to think about more about this when I read this book, The Design of Everyday Things, which is a book from Don Norman that talks about the problem that he faced while trying to open a door in a train going, I don't know where, but it was somewhere in Europe. So he got this problem like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, it's a door. Why cannot open this door? And then he started to make some research about why some people have some struggle to interact with some services. And with him, many things that we understand today as UX design, for example, comes from this observation. Like, we perceive things and how how these perceptions helps us to interact with these products. So this was only possible through observation. And we can only find this information when we sit down with users, we have a conversation, and we observe. That's why it's important to have this usability testing. So let me just talk through real quick about some of the goals that why you should do it, and some of the goals that we have while doing some usability testing. The goals per se, they can be really broad. It can vary, can be different depending on the type of the study that you're doing. But there are three key things that you can find in any usability testing. One is to identify the problems in the design of the product or service that you're designing. Second, you can uncover opportunities or problems that you're going to need to improve before you hand over or you build the experience itself. And last but not least, you're going to learn more about how the target users or the main audience of your product is going to interact with your product. When it comes to conversation design, there are some other things that we can think about or reflect on these three key things. One, for example, identifying the problems. When we're validating this, we can see if in the content of your conversation or the UX writing or your entire conversational flow makes sense to your user or not. You can also uncover opportunities. You can improve your conversations and add new repair paths or uncovered paths or uncovered scenarios that you didn't design at first. And last but not least, you can also understand how, this is really important, people will interact with your design. This is really funny because I don't know about you, but every time that we're designing something, we have this idea that, okay, I'm sure this is going to work in this way. This is really clear. There's no way that people are going to get this wrong, but trust me, trust anyone, I guess. People are going to find different ways to use, unexpected ways to use your product. So that's why it's important to you sit down and have a conversation with some target users or users that represent your audience. Norman, for example, he suggests that if you test with 5 users of your main audience, you can have a sense, not like a 100% real user data about your overall audience. But if you could sit down with about 5 people, you can have a general perception about how your interaction or your conversation or whatever design you're doing is going to be perceived by your main audience. So last thing, and this is the last session of this lightning talk, and then we're going to go to bot society. I'm going to show you some how ways that you can do this. Usually the usability testing it's a call, it's a session that a facilitator is going to sit down with a participant or a group of participants, and then it's going to hand over some tasks, or it's going to introduce some things that these participants needs to do. It's a good practice, though, that before you sit down with this person, you need to write the script or the tasks that you want this person to perform during this usability testing. And also, it's really important for you to say that it's not about the participant or the person that you are doing the research. It's more about the interaction that this person is going to have. There is no problem or shame if this person is not able to perform a particular task. If something like that happens, that actually is great. You find that really great info on your research, because you can see that right away that this person struggle a bit to perform the task. So it's time for you to bring this to your product team and evolve it. Or also to find different perceptions and share it with the entire team as a whole. So as I said, there are some elements that's going to help you to perform these usability tests. There is the facilitator, who is the person that is going to guide the participants through the test or the process of testing your product. This person needs to be neutral and be really careful to do not influence in the results. It's just about observing, making questions, ask the users about what's the user's perception, if there's a problem, what is going on this person's mind, and trying to collect as many possible data or organic data that you can find. Also, there is a tasks or a set of tasks that you need to ask these participants to perform. This needs to be realistic activities and something that you need to test or make sure that the design you are hand over to them, it's kind of possible to make it happen. And last but not least, there's the participants. These are the people or like some real users that can try your product and give you some feedbacks about how your design look and feel. Another thing, though, is the types of tests that you can perform with the users. There are some tests that they are moderated. There are some others that are unmoderated. There is the in-person type of test, but today it's kind of complicated because of the COVID. Some countries are different, I know. But also, there is this challenge of in-person and remote. Usually we can find ways to try it out or to be creative on this. But for every different way, there is a set or possible combinations that you can try it out and different types of outcomes that you can leverage from this type of tests. Botsociety helps you in pretty much all of these scenarios. You can share it, your design, with a user. You don't need to be with the person. If your design makes sense, this person can use it right away. You can also hand over some sets of structures that this person can try your design. And you can use Botsociety in all of these scenarios and all of these type of user tests. And there are probably way more that I'm not introducing here, but this gives you a bigger picture about how you can test with different types of combinations. Another thing, though, is about how you can test your prototype on Botsociety. So while you're testing your design with real users, you can first get a feedback from them on this usability testing. You can ask them, you can perform the tasks that I just introduced you, like keep this flow, have a set of tasks, and then have a conversation with the person that you're going to do the interview. But then you can also make notes, you can make comments, you can leave notes on your design and collect all these feedbacks and leave it on your design and leave it ready to go to be useful in another session. And also you can gather data because every time that a person tests your design in the test mode, you can collect this data later on and add it as training data and export it to your natural language processing model or engine and use it as training data whenever you're going to design. And also, as I said, like you can validate the content, the flow, the scenario, and everything else that I mentioned before. So just to give you a sense about how that works on Bot Society, whenever the person is going to test your design, this person is going to have a similar vision about your design, but this person is not going to be able to see anything else from your design. It's just going to be like a blank, empty canvas. This person is going to be able just to interact with the device that you decide to use on your design. And all of these data, for example, here, there's this person, this is a bot for a coffee shop that user is asking, like, can I get some coffee? This can I get some coffee, for example, you can use it later on and add it to your training as a training data for your AI model. And also the way that you design on Bot Society and how you can collaborate with other people. We're going to see this in a moment, but basically you can just think about, creating your conversations and making them ready to, be exported to another platform. So another thing to say is that whenever you're designing this, especially on Bot Society, probably you're going to do a type of Wizard of Oz type of test, which is a really common word in the conversation design space, which basically is an experiment that gets this name from the movie The Wizard of Oz, which basically, I don't want to spoil, to give any spoiler to anyone, but it's basically the idea that the great Wizard of Oz, it was basically a person behind the curtain pulling the levers and making the magic happen. So on Bot Society, it's kind of the same. You are just creating a structured version of your conversational AI or conversation design and hand over to people so they can test it. But in the end, it's just you imagining or thinking about all the possible interactions that this person can have. Another way to think about the Wizard of Oz is basically it's a great way for you to actually test your design without the need of developing the software itself. It's just a middle way that you can have to test your product, test your design, test your chatbot before you actually build. And with that, you can just validate many ideas and many things on your design. So the idea is just to have a really next to the look and feel about the real experience, but in the end, it's just like a thing, is a prototype that you just hand over to people and having them to test your design. So on Bot Society is pretty much this. You're just creating a prototype that these people or your use space, you're going to be using your design, and then they can test and provide you some training data that you can later on collect and then improve your design and then make your design better and use it as a reference for the developers, for example, to develop your experience. So just to make sure I'm not giving you a wrong perception, this type of testing, this is not a Q&A testing, quality assurance testing. This is not a NLP testing. This is not a unit or integration testing. We're not testing any of these. We're just testing the conversations, the flow, and see if someone is going to struggle or not. If this person is struggle, it's our job to understand why and how we can address this in a meaningful way that is going to help the users to continue the conversation. And last thing, before we finish this presentation, there is another thing that you need to keep in mind, that before you hand off your project to the engineers or to whoever is going to develop your design, check if your design has at least 6 important things. One is about the value proposition, like make it clear how the customers are going to benefit from your design. Also, make sure that your design has the discoverability. Make sure that your customers or users can find your design and also understand the main functionality of it. Also, the conversations designed for natural language conversations, meaning that the conversations, for example, they don't need to sound robotic. It can sound if you want to, but you can make it sound more fluid or that makes sense for the interaction that the person is kind of having. And also interactions, like use good interactions design practice. There is a whole set of heuristics, for example, that you can use it on conversation design as well. Also, make sure that you cover the error scenarios and handle unexpected user interferences gracefully. Like if you kind of think about the different scenarios that the user can just say it. And the usability testing, that is the last thing though, it's a great way for you to find these possible messages or these possible scenarios that is going to create an error on your flow. So I think this is it. This is it for this lightning talk. I talked to you about what is a usability test. It's a popular observational methodology to uncover problems and opportunity in designs. Why you should do it? A usability test is basically to validate your assumptions, to learn new things, and improve the overall usability, base it in the usability test that you do with users. And also about how you can do it on Botsociety, it's completely up to you. It can be remote, in person. It's going to be just like a structured Wizard of Oz that is going to validate your flow. You can validate the content and also gather, collect data, training data for your designs. So how can you do this, especially on Botsociety? I'm going to show you in a moment. If you'd like to have access to these slides, they are available on this link. I'm going to make them available for you in a moment. And if you have any questions, please just reach out. I'm happy to follow up with you. So let's go back to my design. And then I don't know if anyone has any questions or not. If not, we're going to build a demo right now. Well, I don't think I'm getting any questions, so I'm going to continue with the agenda. So right now, we are going to build a demo from scratch. We're going to design from zero a chatbot. We're going to invite users to test. Basically, it's going to be you that is watching this event. If no one tests, I can test by myself, or I can have an AI testing for me, this is something that Botsociety has for a few months now. And also, we're going to see how we can approve these data from testing and add it to my design. So I'm now going to hand over to you like tasks or checklists for an usability interview or something like this. I'm going to show you how you can do this through Botsociety. There are other things that you can do outside Botsociety, but I think I give you some ideas about how you can do that. I'm going to be really focused in the product and how you can leverage the product to help you to do this. So to give you an idea about what we're going to build, I'm going to share with you this link. This is the link to the design that I'm using right now. You are able to design it with me if you like to. You can follow me in the Botsociety, in the product per se. But you can also, after we finish this session, you can duplicate this and have it by yourself and try it on your own. The slides that I just presented here is also available on this design file. And also, this is a demo that we're going to build just to give you an idea about what we're going to do. So this is going to be a really straightforward chatbot that is a coffee chatbot. I think the coffee shop is the perfect use example because we can just have a really short example, but gives you the main idea about what we are going to do. And the goal here is not to perform. I'm kind of mimicking that I am the interviewer and you are. No, it's not that. It's just about you understand how you can use Botsociety to perform your usability test. That's it, pretty much. So once we press play, you're going to have. Once we press play, you're going to have a similar look and feel about how the product is going to look like in the final product. Like, for example, this is a generic app, but if it was, for example, a WhatsApp bot, you would have a similar WhatsApp feeling that this is a WhatsApp bot, but could be also Messenger, Telegram, any preset available on Bot Society. So this is on the left is me providing the scenario. Like imagine you're waiting in line to order coffee in a local cafe. This cafe has a chatbot that helps you to start your order. Your task is to order a medium cappuccino with the milk of your choice. Click start and say something to start a conversation. So I'm going to click start, and here I'm going to start the conversation. Right now, I am in the preview mode, which I'm going to have a preview about my flow. When we're going to test this, it's important that you share the tester link, not the preview link. Otherwise, this person is going to have a hint about everything that is going to happen in your design. And the idea here is not that, is that this person uses your design freely. So you can just understand how this person is going to use your design. So I think this is it for this. We're going to build this in a moment. So I have a question here from Fraser. Are you integrating Bot Society with any research platforms like Userberry? No, right now we don't offer these integrations. It's just going to be using Bot Society directly and how you can improve it using Bot Society. I don't know if this answers your question, Fraser. Let me know, please. Okay, so this is the end of the test. And this is it from this talking. Let's just jump on Bot Society and build. So just to explain you, Bot Society is a conversational design tool. It helps you to design and prototype conversation designs, which can be for a conversational AI, but it can also be for any other type of reasons that you would like to design a conversational experience. Let's say, for example, you're attending a hackathon and you would like to give a vision, an idea, or present your idea in a really visual way. You can use Bot Society to design your idea and export a video that is going to give you a look and feel about like really similar to the real product, but it's not the real product. It's just a prototype. So we help you to design and create these type of prototypes. And of course, we can do many other things. Bot Society can be like a documentation for your designs, can be also a way to prototype your conversational AI project, because the designs that you design on Bot Society, you can also export them to a NLU or NLP engine and also import this in your NLU and NLP engine. So Bot Society today offers integrations with for Rasa and Dialogflow. And you can do many different things. Today, we're going to explore the user testing functionality. But if you'd like to check that out, there are many other videos on this YouTube channel that you can understand the different ways of using Bot Society. And also there is some Bot Society tips that you can check it out later. So what you can see here is a canvas. This is a blank canvas, like any other design tool. You're going to find a canvas that you can just try it out, your design, and design it for sure. In Bot Society, it's the same idea. You can have a canvas, and this canvas, you can edit paths. And inside of paths, you can also add messages. So for example, every path can have a name. We can say like, this is going to be a happy path, which in the conversation design is the best possible interaction that a chatbot can have with a human. So I'm going to call this path as a welcome, happy path. And here, whenever I click in the editor, I can just select what I would like to design. If I like to design the bot message or the user's message. For example, if I want to say that the bot says like, hi, I can just type or click in the bot says and then type hi and click edit. And if I like to have an answer from the user, I can just click in the user says and just type the user's message like hello. If I'd like to have a preview about this particular interaction, I can just press on this play button. And now I'm going to have a preview of this interaction with the messages that I just designed, hi and hello. And these are from the people like the bot and the user that I just designed it. I can just be designing the conversation as I think that is going to happen. And then whenever I feel that it's kind of ready, I can just hand over. Excuse me. I can just hand over to some people and have them to test my design to see if it kind of makes sense or not. Um, Bot Society also offers you a collection of UI components. Like these are single text message, but for example, um, which I don't know way, which color do you like? So if for example, I would like to add some buttons in my conversation, I have some collections of UI components that I can edit. For example, I can just add here quick replies. I can say like, this is blue and this is, I don't know, pink. And then I can, whenever I add new buttons to my flow, Bot Society is going to ask me the scenarios or what I would like to do. For this example here, I'm going to say I would like to keep it in the same design. So now, let me just make it something here. I can select this is my favorite. So this here is just a really small example of an interaction between a bot and a user, and then the bot's going to give some options to the user, and then the user is going to pick one of the options. Which color do you like? And then pink or blue, and then the person is going to select which one this person would like to go. Like, I like the pink, I like the blue. I can say I like blue, and then the bot's going to reply back the same message that I designed. So I think this is it. Like, you get the idea, right? You can just use it to design and prototype your conversations. So for the example that we're going to build and to do a really short usability test, we're going to design a coffee bot that helps helps users to start orders in a local coffee shop. So the goal is basically start the order and hand over the cashier. So the cashier is going to finish the order and proceed to the payment. Okay. So I'm going to add a new path. So I just need to right click anywhere. Okay, let me just move this like this. I'm just rearranging things in my screen here so I don't get lost. Does anyone has any question? Yes, no? Okay. So now I'm going to start to design my design. And here, let me just make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to add a new path. So this new path, though, I'm going to call this as the welcome path. And I want people to start a order in a local coffee shop. I'm not going to give you tips on UX writing or something like this. I'm just going to design a really short design, and then we can have a conversation about how we can improve this. Okay. So first thing that I think that is going to happen, I think that the user is going to start the conversation saying hi, something like that. And then the bot's going to reply back a message like, hello, I'm glad you're here with us today. I want this bot to be a little bit friendly, I guess, in a Brazilian way. And since we're in Brazil, I'm going to say that today we have a delicious coffee directly from Brazil. It's so tasty. If you're from Brazil, I can say that Minas Gerais, I'm not from Minas Gerais, but Minas Gerais has a really good, tasteful coffee. So I can just add a new emoji for this and edit. And then the bot's going to ask, like, what can I get to you? We have espresso, mocha, latte, cappuccino, and some special ones. And then here, I leave it to the user. This, in fact, is a good practice, though. You give some options, like which way do you like to go? Do you prefer right or left? You're just setting the expectations or limiting the choices that the user might have whenever this person is going to reply back. If you just use these social cues, you can leverage your conversations, because most of the times people is going to reply you just the way that you kind of provide it. It's like a fishing. You're just fishing, given some options that the user is going to reply you back. So here I'm going to say that the user is going to ask a cappuccino, for example. Now I'm going to ask about the size, like, perfect. What size is your drink? Small, medium, or large? Large is about 500 mLs, milliliters, and small 300 mLs. I'm not sure. I'm from Brazil. We use these liters. I think that's how I pronounce system. I'm not sure how to translate those to English, but I think you get the idea. And here, I'm going to say that the user is going to say a medium size. And then the bot's going to ask about the milk. Like, do you have any milk preference? Regular, lactose-free, vegan, or anything? Then the user can say something like a vegan, like vegan. Actually, in Brazil, it's really popular today, have vegan milk, at least for some people. Today, I found way more vegan options, to be honest. So great. So with that milk, okay, so the person said the cappuccino, the size, and the type of milk. So yeah, I think this is, we're going to just to finish. So with that milk and a small cappuccino, no, medium cappuccino, right? So just to confirm, you want that milk, in a medium cappuccino, right? And then the user is going to say yes or no. I'm thinking this is my happy path. I think that everything is going to be perfect. But I know that in real life, it's not going to be like that. So I think that this is all set. Like, all set. The total is 13 USD, I guess, depending the country that you are. In Brazil, that's Brazilian reais, which is funny. When I read this, I just thought that 13 Brazilian reais is about $2 USD. That's crazy. So please say yellow coffee to the cashier, finish, and pay your order. Have a great day. Hey, Kyle, but why don't you just ask the user's name? So the cashier asks the for the user's name whenever the users get there. That can be something. I added this yellow coffee because I didn't ask for the name of the person, and I want the person just to say something to start the conversation, or the cashier to ask the code. And this one, for example, here I'm suggesting yellow coffee. It seems easy, but handling names can get quite complicated, because some users, they like to trick the conversation or just trick the bot. Like, they can say like, oh, what's your name? My name is FU, or something like that. And then if the bot is not really well designed, this is going to break the conversation. So it's good for you to take advantage of some of the things that you can just automate, and take it out some organic choices that would help the users just to break the bot. So this is just a tip that I can give it to you. So let's just see how this design is right now. So, hi, hello. I'm glad you're here with us today. Today we have a delicious coffee directly from Brazil. So tasty. So this is something I can just pause here. So let's just pause and make a comment real quick. So we said today twice, right? So we can go back. For example, here there's two todays. So we can say like he moved today. This is just a comment. So let's go back here. Hello. Nope, this is not the one that I want to test. Let me just remove that one. So let me just delete this one here. Delete path, I'm sure. So we're here on the right, okay? So, and this is going to be my starting path. And now I'm going to start here. So, hi. Hello, I'm glad that you're here with us today. So I'm going to remove this today. It's so tasty. What can I get to you? We have espresso, mocha, latte, cappuccino, some special ones. Usually it's going to say a cappuccino. Perfect. What size is your drink? Small, medium, large? A medium size. Do you have any milk preference? Regular, lactose free, or vegan? And then the user is going to say vegan. Great. So just to confirm, you like that milk in a medium cappuccino, right? Yes. And I think my design finish here, I guess. All set. Total is 13. Perfect. So have a great day. So here, for example, I can just to make sure the user knows that finished the interaction, I can just add like a message saying like end of the conversation. So this is not anything related to the flow. It's just the bot saying like this is the end. This is it. This is my test is kind of over. There are some things that I can do this. Like I set it remove today. So today I'll keep that one. I'm going to say I'm gonna have delicious coffee. Yeah, I'm gonna live like this. I can just remove this comment, or I can just say like this was kind of solved. Can resolve this. And I think the rest is kind of the same. There is a message here from Fraser. Like, is this a test to test interaction, or is it voice to test as an option? This is a great question, Fraser. It actually can be anything that you would like to. You just need to specify the type of preset you like to work. So whenever you're creating a new design on Botsociety, um, Botsociety is going to ask you which type of preset you would like to design. So for example, here, I'm going to create a new design. And then I have some official presets that I can just select. Can be a generic app or website, can be WhatsApp, Messenger, SMS, IVR. I mean, any of these are available. You can have Alexa skill, Google Assistant, even a generic app with voice. And there you can design either for text or voice. It's completely up to you. For this example, though, I use this one, your app or website. So this is going to be mostly a test-to-test interaction, but feel free to use anything that you would like to use it. And it's going to be completely up to you. So once I designed this, please let me know if I answer your question. But for this example here, it's going to be just test for test. But if you'd like to, it could be any other type of design, okay? So for this example here, I just designed a really short conversation. It's a person having a conversation with a bot to start a order, just to get to the cashier, say like yellow coffee, and then the cashier is going, okay, it's $13, and then you pay it. So for the use case though, as I presented to you before, it's really important that whenever you're going to sit down with your user, you have a specific set of tasks that you want this person to perform, and this person needs to understand what what both of you are going to do. So usually you say this outside bot society, but you can also, for example, you can add here a conditional block that you can use it as a pop-up message that is going to pop up. Pop-up is a funny word, but it's going to display to the user before you actually start the conversation. So since the use case that we are going to test is coffee bot for a coffee shop that starts the order, we can just give a scenario, introduce an idea to the user. So we can say like, imagine you are waiting in line to order your coffee in a local cafe. This cafe has a chatbot that helps you to start your order. Your task is to order a medium cappuccino with the milk of your choice. Click Start Conversation and say something to start. Here I can add a condition, which is going to be just start conversation. And here, though, you can just connect this with this path. And now, whenever you're going to hand over to your users, these users are going to see like a pop-up before they start your design. There's one extra thing that you need to do, which is basically you need to unmark this path as the starting path. And also, you can just make this one as your starting path. So, for example, the next time you preview a design, you're going to start with this pop-up message. There's no message. It's just the instruction that are given to your users. Remember, there are many things that you do outside bot society. This is just a way for you to help you to kick off your conversation with this person. So if I continue this, you're going to have the same preview that I just presented to you. And I think this is it for the demo that we built from scratch. That's it, pretty much. Hey, Kyle, but I think that would be great, for example, to have buttons and things like that. We can also add that. This is the idea. Like whenever you sit down with the user, this person can say like, oh, it would be great to have like a button here. Then I don't need to type cappuccino. I just want to press and confirm. That's what I want. And then on your usability test, you can find this, and then you can bring it to the product team. So they can just change your design to address these needs. So the question now that I have is, or you might have is like, okay, this guy, he's saying a lot, the preview, when he's going to actually test the conversation with the real user. So to do that, you just need to switch to the prototype mode, which is this option here on the top left. It's the second option, prototype. Once you click that, you're going to see a new option here on the top right, which is invite testers. Once you click on that, you're going to be able to invite people through email. Like you can send directly to this person's email, an email asking this person to test. You can copy the link and share it with someone. So this person is going to open your design and is not going to be able to see anything else on your design, just to have the conversation. Or you can test yourself. I'm going to share the link, test this design. I'm going to share this link with you. Test this design with me. So I sent it. I added to the YouTube live chat. There is a delay about whatever I'm saying in the comments. So you can see in the comment sections, if you click it, you're going to see you're going to have a similar experience like I'm going to have right now. I can see the flow because I am the editor, but if this was open for another person that doesn't have access, this person would just jump here directly on this type of flow. You can specify the type of device that you would like your users to see. If it's a desktop view or it's a mobile view, it's completely up to you. And this is how the person is going to start the conversation. Imagine you're waiting in a line to order la da 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 da, and I think you get the idea. So to start the design, I can just click here, start conversation, and now I need to say something to start the conversation. What I'm going to say, I don't know, can be anything. But that's the important thing, because whenever you're going to test with the users, they can say anything. And this can be great for you because you can just use this as an examples, ideas to add it to your design and evolve it as you go. So here I'm going to say like hi, or we're going to say like hello, something like this. Hello, I'm glad you're here with me. We have delicious coffee directly from Brazil. It's so tasty. What can I get to you? We have espresso, mocha, latte, cappuccino, and some special ones. Um, I can ask anything like, hey, what type of special ones do you have? Right now, the bot's going just to continue the flow. It's going to kind of break the conversation. But if I design it, an extra path for this, probably the bot would ask which scenario I would like to go. So since my challenge here is to order a medium cappuccino, I'm going to say something like a cappuccino, please. Botsociety is not going to do any type of processing language here. It's just going to go as you design it, as you structure it. That's why I brought to you this idea of Wizard of Oz. So you, as a conversation designer, you're going to structure your design as you envision, and Botsociety is going to give you the flexibility for you to design the different scenarios. So here, for example, perfect. What size is your drink? Small, medium, or large? Large is about 500 mLs and small is 300 mLs. I can say, what's the medium size? So Botsociety is not going to do any natural language processing, but if I design it, oh, I forgot I didn't design it. I should have designed it. But if I design it, a repair path for this, Botsociety would ask me like, hey, which way do you want to go? Does your answer is more about this to the left or to the right? If neither of the answers fits, it means that you didn't design it for that specific use case. So here, do you have any regular milk preference? I can say I would like to have vegan. That's right. Yes, that's right. I'll set the total is 13. Please say yellow coffee to the cashier to finish and pay your order. Have a great day. End of the conversation. And yeah, I think this is it. Kyle, what can I learn from this? If you're doing an interview with the user, real user, you can just be having a conversation with the user like, okay, just finish. Does this conversation make sense for you? What do you think about it? Do you think that kind of represents the brand? Do you think that represent us? I don't know if it's a famous coffee like Star Coffee, for example. Do you think this conversation represent us? And then this person can give you idea like, no, I don't think it's kind of straight. It kind of sounds odd. Okay, what would make you have a different feeling? So that's the job of you having this conversation with the user and analyzing or observing how this person is going to have a conversation with your design. So, excuse me. Another powerful thing that you can think about society is that once you finish to do this test with one user or many other users, you can just go back here to the prototype mode. And here you're going to see these painting tester data, which are basically the testers' data or the testing that you just did with your users. These are organic data. These are what the people said to your chatbot, and you can use this to add it to your design as an example of adding this as an utterance, for example. So Now I have two utterances here to start a conversation. Instead of just saying like hi, now I have hi, hello, which was something that the user said. I can also have here, instead of the bot or the user saying a cappuccino, I can add a new AI or training example for this, which is going to be a cappuccino please, which also stands for this particular kind of intention. And this can be used on your Rasa or Dialogflow. I can approve this. If I don't have enough time and I don't have no one to test my design, I can also invite people to test my design with these automatic tests here, which is going to basically share your design with OpenAI GPT-3, and then OpenAI is going to test your design and bring more organic, artificial, synthetic data for you. So this is going to be GPT-3 generated. I'm not sure what's going to comes from this conversation. So here, for example, now we have new messages. So what's the medium size? So here, the conversation said medium tanks twice. I can just say, okay, I think that makes sense, say medium tanks. So this was kind of generated by GPT-3. So vegan, regular milk. I think the GPT-3 is kind of saying things twice. I can edit this later. And here, the GPT-3 said yes, yes. So yeah, it's going to be random stuff. So this is just an AI testing my design, so it can help me to have new ideas. I can, of course, correct this. For example, these media tanks, I can just come back here, open my message editor, and then click on this 2/2 to change it to the next one. I just have two. But if I have more than two, I can just click on this see all, and then I'm going to see all the possible utterances that I have here. I can also edit this and then just press save it. And now that's it. I have this just media tanks. Regular milk. I'm going to change this to regular milk. I think it was funny. GPT-3 is saying something like this. And then this yes, I can just replace this with this emoticon.
São 17:01.
My Alexa, I'm sorry. And I think this is it. So let me just double check if we covered everything. So the agenda was basically to giving you a lightning talk about usability test. We did that already, was the beginning. Go back. This is going to be available once we finish this. You can just go back and watch it. We designed a new conversation from scratch, which is this one. I showed to you how you can invite tests to users to test your design. And yeah, there you go. I showed to you how you can do it, and we just tested. And now we just approve data from user testing. And I think this is it. I'm not sure if anyone has any other questions, or if anyone like to ask another thing. But yeah, so just to finish this up, just like to remind you that usability tests is just like a really popular way and methodology to uncover problems and find opportunities in designs. Is a way to observe people and understand how they would interact with your product. This is really valuable because it can help you to find opportunities before you actually build the product. Why you should do a usability test is basically to validate the assumptions that you have and learn new things about your product. And of course, as you learn, you can improve the overall usability and make your product more powerful to your users. And also, how to do it on Botsociety. As I told you, there are many different ways that you can do this on Botsociety. But once you design your conversation, you can share it with real users and have them to design your conversation. So once they test your design, you're going to be able to, see the interactions that they had and add this to your design as a way to improve it. If there is something that you think that, oh, I'm not sure, I think this, like, I have a new path here, like, what's the median size? I think this is not something that I thought about it. I didn't design it. I didn't think about this. Let's add this to design. I can just like create a new path. And once I create a new path, Botsociety is going to add here to the end. I can just split this path. Oh, I need to change to the edit mode. And now I have a second path here that this is going to be like a drink size question. So what's the medium size? Here, the bot can say like, oh, the medium size is about, I think I need to make it bigger for you, right? Size is about 400 ml. What can you get? I can add this to my flow. I can connect this question here instead of the user saying something. And then I can just connect back to my flow. And this, for example, this is a really small repair path that I just saw it right here. So if we test again this specific design, you're going to see that whenever we get to that part about the size, Botsociety is going to ask you about which way should we go. And you can think about many different repair paths that you can add to your design that is going to be valuable to that specific use case. So yeah, that's the kind of the job, right, of the conversation design. Like we need to be thinking about these different scenarios that the person can say. So here, for example, the user can say medium tanks, or the user can just make a question like, what's the medium size? The bot's going to reply. And then we are going back to the main flow, which is the happy path. You see? And yeah, we have a question here, like, are the user's test answers saved? And is there an option to export those answers? So this is a great question. And this, what I just showed to you, yes, these are the saved answers from the users. You can just come back here. Now I approved some of these answers, but I don't know, if 100 people answered this, I would have 100 answers from these people. Once I add it to my design, I can just come here to this wrench icon and then click on this build and export for. So I can just select to any format that I would like to have. For example, it can be a CSV file. It's a comma separate value file. And once I press this and export, Botsociety is going to generate a CSV file for you, and then you can use it anywhere. Or you can, if you're using, for example, Rasa, it's going to generate a Rasa file for you in a Rasa format, and then you can use it right away. So yeah, I don't know if anyone has another question. I'm happy to answer any question that you might have. Yeah, it's really great. If you'd like to check that out, how you can do that, there are some workshops about this specifically. You can see how you can generate these data and export it. And there is also some short videos, about 5 minutes, that teaches you how you can use this. You just need to look for Botsociety tips. And yeah, it's really great. I think you should try it out. If no one has any other questions, I think this is it for this session today. All right, thanks, William. Yeah, so that's it. That was the workshop. Thank you so much, everybody that show up today. This recorded session is going to be available for everyone. Once it finished, you can just come back here later and watch it again, or just jump to the parts that you'd like to see it. And yeah, it was a pleasure to be with you here today. If you have any questions, just find me on LinkedIn. My name is Caio Calado, or send me an email or something like this. I'm happy to help you with anything else. Okay, so have a great week, and I hope to see you in another time. Bye-bye.